Alchemy, some might say. But what could be greater than using the stuff we throw away to create power?
Yeah, it's not always as easy as that, of course, because with waste you often have to be, well, it has to be transported great distances before it can be processed and turned into that energy. I'll tell you what, our next guest thinks that she's cracked that conundrum.
Yes, she's the boss of SEaB Energy. Sandra Sassow has created 2 patented products, the Flexibuster and Muckbuster.
Oh, I didn't know those. Now, I like those names, Sandra. They use technology which converts food and animal waste into energy. They actually do it on site.
I'm Ben, not Sandra. And the company has just struck a deal in India worth £1 billion. That's around $1.25 billion.
I know who you are. I'm talking to Sandra, because Sandra's right here. We brought her in. Sandra, great to have you with us. It's like the Three Stooges. Oh, no, actually not three. Laurel and Hardy, that's what I meant.
Please stay. Please stay. We'll be more polite from here on in.
Sandra, I've got to ask you, because, Sandra, you worked on the Hubble, navigation for the Hubble the telescope, and now you're doing this, but can you tell us how, in a nutshell, the dummies, i.e. me, how it works?
Yeah, so it's almost the same as the Hubble Space Telescope. So instead of looking out into the distance, we're taking waste that is local, and we're actually converting it. So it's a bacterial process. The bacteria eat the waste in our shipping containers, and then produce biogas, and the biogas is then converted in an engine into electricity. And we capture the water from the waste. So if you have food waste is 80% water. You can take the 80% that you're recapturing and turn it into a water resource for the site as well.
And who's kind of buying into this idea? Have you got any big customers who've said, actually, we like the sound of this, we're going to install one?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started selling the product as its production version last year. And we've closed sales in 4 countries. We've got the NHS here in Southampton that has taken one to take the waste from the site and produce electricity for the hospital, saving them money, giving them more money to do other things related to healthcare. We have a large corporate in Manhattan that's retrofitted one, or is retrofitting one, into one of the existing iconic buildings of the city, so a Fortune 50, putting one center city. We've got a client in Portugal.
Is it expensive to get started, though?
It's not. It's a plug-and-play system, so it arrives to the site ready to go, and it interconnects.
What's it going to cost us if I want one of these shipping?
It depends where, but it's going to give you a 3 to 5 year payback. So the systems range in price from about £140,000 up to £400,000,
okay,
depending on the size of the system, amount of waste that you're going to be reconverting, I guess, into electricity. So
how much space does it take up, by the way?
It's a shipping container.
Yeah, it's multiple.
It's an actual shipping container.
Literally.
Yeah, and you just plop it in.
So you don't need planning permission for it.
So some places you need planning permission, some places you don't need planning permission, some places require extra permitting. It really depends on where you are in the world and what the regulations are.
Is this the kind of technology that over time you'd be able to shrink or have it so we could put it, like, it's a bit hard to have a shipping container next to the house, isn't it?
Depends how big your house is.
Well, that is true too.
So we've shrunk it. I mean, if you think about it, right now, waste is converted in big centralized facilities that tend to be outside of the urban environment. So you're trucking the waste to those sites. We've shrunk it down into something that can fit in an urban environment, that can be placed into the mega cities that are expanding around the world. So we've taken it down into 20-foot shipping containers. If you take that and expand it down, we're trying. We'll go smaller as we can, but technology and supply chain is really keeping us where we are.
Yeah, it's quite a different business from where you started working on the Hubble Space Telescope.
Yeah.
How did you make that transition, and do you miss the Hubble work?
So it's all tech, and actually there's as much tech in this as there was in what I was doing there. It's just applied differently.
But you must get a different reaction from people when you say, I work with people on the Hubble Space Telescope, and then you say, I work with waste.
So we got an award from NASA that chose us as one of the 9 techs in the world that was doing something advanced in the waste sector. And they took a view that was advancing where the world was going. So they're looking at what we're doing as the closed-loop environment for long-haul space flight. So who knows? I might go back to doing space work in the future.
Wow. From Hubble to poo. Sandra Sassow, we appreciate it. That's waste, isn't it? It's great stuff. Thanks very much for coming.